Welcome back, everybody. This time I am going to review Haibara's Teenage New Game Plus, which is it's kind of like a real life situation where the guy goes back to being his teenage self, but it's more focused on romance than anything else. But let's start with the review. So, of course, we have our main character, which is, of course, Natsuki Haibara, which is, of course, he's named after the volume. So, going on with him, he gets back sent to time. He doesn't know why or how this happened, but one day he just wishes upon it and he just gets sent back in time to his teenage self before, I believe, yeah, on his high school debut. So he just got out of middle school and he wants to redo his life. He wants to be the popular kid. He doesn't want to be like the gloomy antisocial kid. And in high school, he just lost like all these connections he had. He lost his childhood friend because he didn't talk to her, and he just didn't get any friends in high school because he was just lonesome. So he wanted to change that. And by going back in time to his self, we don't know why he went back in time or how it happens. It just happens. So he goes back in time. He becomes his high school self and then, well, middle school self. And then he's like, all right, let's work on my body because right now he's fat. So then he just keeps running the whole break. And he ends up turning into like this slim dude, of course, typical. He ends up becoming like handsome, of course, typical. And he ends up talking to his childhood friend who actually helps him pick out some clothes to like wear because he didn't have any clothes to wear. Well, any like fashionable clothes to wear. And of course, he has to be fashionable if he's gonna make this debut come true. So the volume one is mostly just him with his high school debut, trying to fit in, trying to be popular, and of course, it's a rousing success. He's popular, he's good at everything, honestly. There's like no flaws that he could see on him, and actually that comes back to bite him in the ass. I believe in volume two. I believe in volume two or one because one of the people in the friends group is like, "Oh, you're so perfect," blah blah blah. Like I can't be like you, but he ends up kind of revealing who he used to be, and it's just like it's not as big as a reveal as he thought it'll be because like, of course, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, you were this kid. Like we don't want to hang out with you." They're just like, "Oh, like we know more about you," and that's it. So it ends up being the volume ends up being kind of romantic, kind of drama ish. I wouldn't say it's more on drama. It's more on like on romance stuff because it's kind of slice of life. It's mostly slice of life. So we see him do his high school thing. He goes to high school. He talks to all these students. He ends up being part of the popular group, and he has to like keep up this facade that he's all like perfect and everything, which as I mentioned before, it comes back to bite him in volume two. And then he ends up revealing that he's not like all this perfect, he has flaws, he's like an otaku, which like nobody really cares. It's like it's not really a spoiler, it's like nobody really cares that he's an otaku, like it's just who you are. It doesn't really matter. But I really like the writing in this volume, like in this series, because like it's slice of life, but it gives you like it plants the seeds for like the romance, and it gives you other characters' insights, which you don't normally see in I believe most romances. It's mostly just one sided, but in this one, it gives you a little hint of what other people are thinking of the main character, so that you know what's going on in the other characters' thoughts and how they perceive the main character. But it has really grown to be one of my favorite like romance light novels, mostly because I don't read like a lot of romance light novels. It's kind of hard to find romance light novels in the J novel app, but I picked this up because I'm like, I want to get into it, see what's it's all about, and I ended up really liking it. It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's really fast reading, honestly. There's only three volumes out, and the third one just finished translating. So I'm gonna finish the third volume because I leave it so it could stack up, so I could just read it all at once because it's that good. Like I don't want to wait another week for like chapter 2 to come out and then just like all that. So I highly recommend you guys pick this up. If you love romance, slice of life, and a little bit of drama, it's mostly just like slice of life with romance. There is no, there's not much comedy aspect to it. It's really just like slice of life, but like the writing really makes it like it keeps your attention in. It's not like the boring kind of slice of life where you're like, oh, like come on, pick it up, let's see something happen. It really just keeps your attention in for like the whole volume, and it's really good. I highly recommend it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next week. Bye.